If you're past 60, there's one quiet habit that could change everything. Not while you're awake, but while you sleep. No alarms, no pain. Just one moment you're getting ready for the day, and the next, your hand won't move, your words won't come out, or your body won't cooperate. I've sat across from too many families watching this unfold, and what caused it wasn't bad food, cigarettes, or a lazy lifestyle. It was something they believed was helping. Vitamins. Yes, the same daily supplements millions of older adults take, thinking they're doing something good for their bones, their mind, their energy. But here's what no one tells you. Certain vitamins, especially when taken in high doses or at the wrong time, can quietly tip the balance inside your brain. They don't make noise. They don't leave clues. But they can raise your risk of stroke, internal bleeding, or blood pressure spikes, especially in those early morning hours when the brain is most fragile. Today, I'll walk you through 5 everyday vitamins that might be putting your health at risk without you even realizing it, including D, E, B6, A, and niacin. If you or someone you love is taking any of these, what you learn next might protect everything that matters. But first, tell me honestly, have you ever wondered if your vitamins could be working against you? Type 1 in the comments if the thought has crossed your mind. Type 0 if this is all new. And if your brain, or the brain of someone you love, matters deeply to you, give this video a like and subscribe to Ageless Nutrition. We share real, reliable insights designed with your stage of life in mind. Let's begin with the one that shocks most people, vitamin D. It's known as the sunshine vitamin, right? Good for your bones, your mood, your immune system. And in the right amount, it is. But there's a side of this story that most people in their 60s, 70s, and beyond are never told, especially when taking it late in the day. Because what seems like a harmless habit could quietly set the stage for a stroke while you sleep. I've seen it happen firsthand. Let me tell you about Mr. Walter, 74 years old, a proud retired Navy vet. Disciplined, healthy, intentional. Every morning without fail, he lined up his supplements. One of them, a 10,000 IU vitamin D capsule, straight off the store shelf. He thought he was doing the right thing for his bones. But one morning, his wife found him disoriented, slurring his words, unable to move his right arm. A stroke in his sleep. His blood work revealed something alarming: sky-high calcium, stiff arteries, and wild blood pressure swings. The quiet culprit? Vitamin D toxicity. Here's why it happens. When you take high doses of vitamin D, especially without a doctor's eye, your body starts piling up calcium in the bloodstream. And that excess calcium doesn't just sit there. It slips into your arteries, making them rigid and narrow. Add that to age-related stiffening, a little dehydration, and nighttime vulnerability. And suddenly, you've got a recipe for disaster. The cruelest part? No warning signs. You go to bed feeling perfectly fine and wake up to a life that will never be the same. What's worse? Many over-the-counter vitamin D pills contain way more than your body actually needs. 5,000 IU? 10,000 IU? Most folks take these daily without a second thought, believing more is better. But recent research shows that even 2,000 IU a day might be too much if your body isn't deficient, especially when paired with calcium or heart meds. So please, get your levels checked regularly. And always take vitamin D in the morning, never at night. If you're unsure how much you're taking, check the label. Type D in the comments if this made you pause for a moment. If you're taking vitamin D now, let's talk about it. You're not alone. And if you know someone this could help, a spouse, a parent, a friend, share this video. Your simple act could protect a life. Because as you'll see next, there's another vitamin many take for heart health. But in older adults, it may quietly cause something even worse than a clot, a bleed inside the brain. Let's talk about vitamin E, often praised as the heart's helper. If it's part of your daily routine, you're in good company. Many folks over 60 take it, hoping to protect their heart, boost circulation, maybe even support memory or soften aging skin. It sounds smart, it sounds safe. But here's the hard truth you won't find printed on the bottle. In high doses, especially when paired with common heart medications, vitamin E can quietly raise your risk of a bleed inside the brain. Yes, even if you're doing everything else right. I'll never forget Evelyn Brooks. She was 81, a retired librarian from Ohio, always sharp, quick with a joke, and still full of curiosity. She had a heart valve issue and was on warfarin, a standard blood thinner. Her doctors were careful. Her tests looked fine. Her numbers were steady. Then one afternoon, she bought a bottle of natural vitamin E from a magazine ad, 800 IU per pill. I thought it would help with memory, she told me. Just 3 weeks later, she was rushed to the hospital with a blinding headache, confusion, and vomiting. A brain scan revealed the unthinkable: a hemorrhagic stroke, bleeding inside her brain, not from high blood pressure, not from a fall, but because the vitamin E had thinned her blood too much, more than her body could handle. One tiny blood vessel in her brain ruptured, and in an instant, everything changed. Here's what most people never hear. At high doses, vitamin E acts like a natural blood thinner. And when you're already taking aspirin, Plavix, or any prescription anticoagulant, stacking vitamin E on top can quietly tip the balance. Especially in the brain, where even a pinhead-sized bleed can rob you of your speech, your memory, or your independence. The safe amount for older adults? Just 15 milligrams, around 22 IU. But go check the shelves. Most supplements carry 200, 400, even 1,000 IU. No warning labels, no guidance. And many older adults take them every single day for years, unaware of the risk. Evelyn survived, but today she walks with a cane. Her memory, never quite the same. I still remember what she whispered to me, holding back tears. I thought I was doing something good for myself. I didn't know I could do harm. And that's the part that stays with me. Because she's not alone. So many seniors believe if it's a vitamin, it must be harmless. But not all vitamins are safe, especially when you're on heart or blood pressure medication. That's why it's vital, no matter how natural a supplement seems, to talk to your doctor before adding anything new. And as we turn the page, the next vitamin may be even more surprising. It's one people often take for nerve support and energy. But in the wrong amount, it can quietly damage your nerves, sometimes for good. Now let's talk about vitamin B6, the one that shows up on shelves with bold promises: brain support, nerve health, energy boost. You've probably seen it in those glossy bottles at the pharmacy. Maybe a friend or a relative said, it helps with memory, it's good for your nerves. And for older adults looking to stay sharp and steady, it sounds like the right choice. But here's what most people are never told. Too much vitamin B6 can quietly damage your nerves. And in some cases, that damage may never go away. Let me introduce you to Harold Jenkins. He was 76, a retired truck driver from Kansas. Strong, independent, used to long hours behind the wheel. But when he walked into my office, he looked worried. His feet felt numb. His hands tingled. He'd started losing his balance. At first, he brushed it off. Must be getting old, he said. Then came the falls. One, then another. The third sent him to the floor of his bathroom, head first. I checked his supplements. The culprit was hiding in plain sight. He'd been taking a nerve support formula for over a year. The label made it sound safe, supports brain and circulation. But inside, each pill carried 100 milligrams of vitamin B6. And he was taking 2 a day. That's 200 milligrams daily, more than 10 times what a senior actually needs. Here's what makes B6 so tricky. It builds up over time. Unlike some vitamins that flush out with water, B6 stores up, slowly, silently. And in older bodies, it can strip away the protective coating around your nerves, like peeling insulation off an electric wire. The result? Tingling, numbness, shaky muscles, even memory fog or confusion. Worst of all, the symptoms creep in, so gradually that many folks mistake it for arthritis, aging, or early dementia. But really, it's a kind of poisoning, a slow, preventable nerve injury from something meant to help. Thankfully, Harold caught it early. We stopped the supplement, and the damage didn't progress. But the truth is, he still uses a cane. He doesn't drive anymore. And what he told me broke my heart. Doc, I was just trying to protect my brain. I didn't know I was harming it. So let's make this clear. Vitamin B6 does matter, but only in very small amounts. Adults over 60 only need 2 to 10 milligrams a day, and that includes what you eat. But so many brain health pills out there pack 50, 100, even 200 milligrams per serving. That's not helpful. That's dangerous. So if you're taking any supplement that mentions nerve, brain, or energy, take a moment. Read the label, know your numbers, and type B6 in the comments if you've ever taken one like this or know someone who has. And if you're thinking, surely something as basic as vitamin A must be safe, well, not quite. Let's talk about that next. Now let's talk about vitamin A, the one most people trust without question. If you're like many older adults, you've probably been told it's essential for your eyesight. Maybe you've taken it to boost your immune system, improve your skin, or simply because someone said it helps you age well. But here's the part rarely mentioned, and it matters so much more after 60. Vitamin A doesn't just pass through your body like some others. It builds up, silently, and when it does, it can create pressure inside your skull, not just discomfort. We're talking stroke-like symptoms, vision loss, and brain fog that feels like something far worse. Let me share the story of Ms. Dorothy Simmons, 79 years old, a retired piano teacher from Oregon. Graceful, independent, and full of music. She spent her days teaching students in her cozy living room, proud to live life on her own terms. Then one day, the headaches started. Then blurred vision, dizziness, slurred words. Her family panicked, thinking it was a stroke, but scans told a different story. There was no bleeding, no clot. Instead, her brain was under pressure, literally. Her spinal fluid wasn't draining properly. Tiny veins were straining. The diagnosis? Vitamin A toxicity. Turns out, Miss Dot had been taking a high-dose supplement for skin and eye health, nearly 10,000 IU every day for 5 years. No one warned her. She thought she was doing something kind for her body. But vitamin A is fat-soluble, which means it gets stored in your liver, your tissues, and yes, even your brain. It doesn't flush out like vitamin C or B. And as we age, our liver's slower, making the buildup even faster. Too much vitamin A can lead to a condition called pseudotumor cerebri, a false brain tumor. The symptoms? Headaches, double vision, dizziness, nausea, even long-term vision loss or cognitive decline. And it's easy to miss. Many multivitamins already contain your full daily limit, but people unknowingly double or triple the dose with added anti-aging or eye health supplements. For older adults, the safe upper limit is around 2,500 to 3,000 IU per day, and only under supervision. But the shelves? They're full of products offering 5,000, 10,000 IU or more, every single day. Ms. Dot is slowly recovering, but now she needs regular eye exams, pressure checks, and therapy to keep her balance. I'll never forget what she told me. I truly thought I was helping my body. I never imagined I could be hurting my brain. That's why her story matters, not to scare you, but to equip you. Because protecting your independence means understanding what your body needs and what it doesn't. And if you thought vitamins for eyesight could be risky, wait until you hear what happens when a vitamin meant to help your heart and cholesterol suddenly spikes your blood pressure. Let's talk about niacin, also known as vitamin B3, a supplement many older adults have been told is good for the heart. It's been praised for decades as a natural way to lower cholesterol. Some doctors even prescribe it. You'll find it in heart health pills, energy drinks, and even fortified breakfast cereals. But here's what often gets left out of the conversation, especially for people over 60. In high doses, niacin can quietly wreak havoc on your blood pressure, and in some cases, trigger a stroke. Let me tell you about Frank Miller, age 82, a retired postman from Florida. When he came to see me, he described some strange symptoms. Waves of heat in his face, a pounding heart, dizzy spells every morning that seemed to come out of nowhere. His wife worried it was anxiety. His son blamed his blood pressure meds. But the real cause? Something most people wouldn't think to suspect. Frank had been taking an over-the-counter heart health supplement. The label promised to support cholesterol and circulation. But the fine print on the back? 1,000 milligrams of niacin per serving. And he was taking it twice a day, 2,000 milligrams daily. That's more than 60 times what most older adults actually need. Here's what happens in your body at that dose. First, your blood vessels expand. That's why some people feel flushed or overheated. But soon after, those same vessels snap back and tighten. Hard. That kind of rebound effect can spike your blood pressure, put intense strain on your heart, and cut off proper blood flow to your brain. Imagine tapping a fragile window pane with a hammer every single day. Sooner or later, it cracks. Frank suffered what's called a TIA, a transient ischemic attack, a mini-stroke. His speech slurred for 2 minutes, then came back. He thought it was just a fluke. But I had to tell him the truth. The very supplement meant to help his heart had quietly endangered his brain. And Frank's story isn't rare. Many older adults take flush-free or extended-release niacin thinking it's safer. But even those forms can still raise blood pressure, disrupt heart rhythm, and destabilize blood sugar. Here's what you need to know. For anyone over 60, anything over 50 milligrams of niacin a day should only be taken under medical supervision. And if you're on blood pressure meds, heart rhythm meds, or have any cardiovascular issues, check your labels. Please. Frank stopped taking niacin. Thankfully, there was no lasting damage. But I'll never forget what he said. "Doc, I really thought I was doing everything right. I didn't know I was gambling with my brain." And that's why we're having this conversation. Not to make you fearful, but to make you aware. Now that we've walked through 5 everyday vitamins, each with the potential to quietly harm your brain, you might be wondering, what should I take instead? Or better yet, what should I eat? Let's turn to something more reliable. Real food. Nourishment your body knows how to use. The kind that protects your mind without the risk. By now, you might be asking the same question Margaret once asked me. If these vitamins can be risky, what should I do instead? It's a good question, and an honest one. Because the truth is, your body was never designed to run on pills. It was built to thrive on real food, the kind your brain recognizes, absorbs, and gently uses in just the right amounts. Nothing forced, nothing synthetic, just nourishment that speaks your body's language. Let me tell you about Mrs. Margaret Wilson, 73 years old, a retired school principal from Arizona. When we first met, she pulled open a drawer filled with supplements: vitamin D for her bones, E for her heart, a B complex for energy, niacin for cholesterol, a multivitamin, and a few more for brain support. She looked me in the eye and said, "I thought I was doing everything right, Doc." But her mornings told a different story. Dizziness, unsteady balance, blood pressure climbing without reason. So we tried something simple, something radical. We cleared the cabinet, one bottle at a time, and replaced each pill with real food. No trendy diet, no expensive program, just whole, familiar foods at the right time in the right combinations. Her breakfast? 1 boiled egg for clean, steady protein. Half an avocado, rich in the kind of fat your brain loves. A slice of whole grain toast for slow, even energy. A handful of blueberries, nature's brain defenders. A glass of room temperature water to wake up the mind. Sometimes a few walnuts or almonds too. And that was it. No powders, no pills, just food. Real, simple, honest. Within a few short weeks, something beautiful happened. Her dizziness faded, her blood pressure steadied, her energy returned, and she told me, with a quiet smile, "My mind feels clearer than it has in years." And that, right there, is the point. Your brain doesn't need megadoses. It needs balance, hydration, healthy fats, natural nutrients in their original form. The kind found in spinach, kale, berries, salmon, walnuts, oats, not a capsule. These foods don't just protect your brain, they strengthen your heart, support your bones, lift your mood, keep you moving and feeling like yourself. You're not just eating, you're healing with every bite. So here's your final wake-up call, not from fear, but from wisdom. At this stage in life, every choice carries more weight. And the real protection doesn't come from the pills you take, but from the truths you understand. Because your body at 60, 70, or 80 doesn't respond the way it once did. Even well-meaning habits, like popping daily supplements, can quietly backfire if you're not careful. That's why awareness is your best medicine. You don't have to fear vitamins, but you do have to respect them. Read the labels. Talk to your doctor. Listen to your body, especially when it whispers. And if any part of this message touched you today, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's one change you'll make starting tomorrow? If this helped, click the like button so others can find it too. And please, subscribe to Ageless Nutrition so we can keep learning, growing, and staying strong together. Because you're not alone in this journey, and you're never too old to take back control of your health.